What's up, guys? Paul Wolff here. We're back here at the Wolff Racing compound. A little bit late on this post-race recap, but I wanted to get the 44 car stripped down so I get all the parts sent out to get them fixed, rebuilt, all of the above. So I get them back, because this weekend I'm personally leaving to go race the Pro 4 truck at ERX. So I needed to get this done and ready to go before we go to leave up there. Let's get right on into the post-race recap. We qualified on the pole. We come out, we actually pulled the whole shot right away, pulled a good car and a half on Vaughn, went into the first right-hander. I pinched down tight on it, obviously to block the inside. He overdrove the corner, I don't really know why, completely blew the corner, missed the braking, and drilled the back right side of my car, hit the back right wheel bearing pretty abruptly on it. I really don't know what he was doing there, but it is what it is, part of racing. So from that point on, our wheel bearing in the back was a little loose. I could feel it in the brake pedal. I had to give the brakes a pump or two after that. The car still ran really well. Everything worked great on it. We come out and they ended up doing a red flag because Philip Magilton broke his back. I was going out on my third lap. But most people didn't quite finish their second lap. So they reset us back to the finishing order of lap 1, which I was in the pole. Brett Harrell, Lauren was in third already, and then so on and so forth behind him. We had to wait a long time for the ambulance to leave and then come back. And in that time, we had the car shut off sitting at the start line, so all of us were dead engine. I started hearing guys behind me firing cars up. I called my spotter on the radio and said, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "I don't know, I ain't said nothing yet, just hang tight." So I'm just sitting there chilling, and they dropped the green flag. Nobody mentioned to me starting the car, nobody mentioned we're getting ready to go hot. They didn't even tell the spotters that we're getting ready to go hot, so that was a huge mishap on Ultra4. I know it probably looks bad on me to the crowd, like why other guys took off and I didn't. The reason is actually the guy running the flag never even checked to see if I was ready. I never even turned the power on to my car. I just had the radio on, that was it. And he was standing directly out of my doorway, not in front of my car. So he was standing off the side of it, and so I really couldn't see him. Not only that, I wasn't really looking for him either. So they dropped the green flag. Obviously I don't move, everybody drives into the back of the car. And guys go around, it's kind of chaos. I turn around and I said, "Hey, what the heck's going on? You know, you guys have to tell us that we're gonna go green. You guys didn't tell my spotter, you didn't tell me inside the car. Might be something you wanna do." And so they re-racked everybody, and we started again. This time, everybody obviously left off the line, including myself. Kept the whole shot. I think we made it 2 laps. There was a section of the track that Lauren was running a little differently than me on the short course, and he actually had the better line, and he come on the inside of me through some rollers and got ahead of me. I fell in behind him, and we just started running like that, and I'd get close to him, I could make a run on him, I just couldn't quite get around him. I felt like we were faster in certain areas and he was faster in other areas of the track. I honestly was just kind of following him, hoping he would brake. I thought the way he was running through the rocks, I felt like he was going to break the car or get a flat tire. So I was just kind of following him, just really keeping up with him, not really just pushing on him a little bit. And then we got down to about 3 to go, and I knew at that point he probably wasn't going to brake. I probably had to just run him down and pass him. So I really stepped it up, 2-wheeled the car, and I got it, recovered it, and then I took off, ran him back down, got all the way to him. We went through the last rock garden, and I tried the far left line, he was going right line, and he actually crossed over in front of me. It was an awesome block job on his part. And in the process, I broke a steering belt running through the rocks. The diff cover came up and contacted our steering pulley and cut the belt. At that point, I lost steering, and so the car, I really couldn't finish out of the rock section wide open because I couldn't really steer the car. Got out of the rock section pretty awfully. The car bucked and got a little wild. Couldn't steer it, so I was just trying to fight it back to the finish line. And in the process of that, JP Gomez was able to overtake me for second place. So we ended up third by the time I got it across the line. Still awesome race, man. That was probably one of the best races I've ever been involved in as far as just pure speed, the track changing, allowing different cars to, allowing my car to be faster at the end. Lauren's was faster at the beginning, with the track conditions changing. Just everything really turned into an awesome race. Really ran the cars hard. Like, never have I ran this car that hard and put it through that much violence during a race. So, awesome race. Looking forward to going to Crandon, and hopefully we can have another battle, and hopefully we come out on top this time though. Well, you want to do a damage report?
Let's do a damage report.
All right, damage report. One of the big ones is this tube here is bent in the chassis. We'll cut it all out and replace it, get it reheat treated. That's on the to-do list. Actually, all of the FK joints in the front of the car were actually all really good. I was really impressed with how well they held up. We did bend a couple bolts. I don't think I have them laying around here right now, but we bent a couple of our 3/4 inch bolts, but the Heim joints actually held really well. We went ahead and pulled the motor out of the car and the transmission just to get them freshened up. The transmission, we did have a seal come out of the tail shaft that was leaking a little bit of fluid. I think it's actually an easy fix, but we're going to get it checked out just in case. The motor, the last 3 laps, we were running it like at 230, 235. So we were pushing the limits of the motor of temperature, and the motor's been in the car for about 1.5 years now. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to update fuel in the car. So we're going to switch from VP 110 to probably either C12 or C14. That'll help keep the engine temps down on the car and keep them a little more, I guess, in what we would like our favorable zone, and not run the car so close to the ragged edge. So we're going to go ahead and do that, get the car switched over, and that's another reason the motor's out of the car, is to get it switched to that and to get it just freshened up. The transmission's getting freshened, I already mentioned. We're going to go through the transfer case too. In it, the SCS case has been really good to us, but I just want to double check everything on it. And then we pulled both front and rear differentials. They're going back to Tube Works to get rebuilt, inspected, all of that stuff. They took a crazy amount of punishment in this race, and it's impressive that they're still, they held for the whole race. I've never beat on a differential so hard. So really happy with all of that. The brakes and everything on the car worked phenomenally. We're going to get the wheel bearing rebuilt and adjusted, so we got our good brakes back again. Everything else on the car held really good. We just got to get them few big ticket items inspected. And then lastly but not least, I got to rebuild the wing. The violence and the rocks actually broke some of the mounting in the bottom of the wing, and the wing was moving around and was bouncing around in the car and affected it a little bit. So we're going to get the wing rebuilt, move some mounts around on it, make it a little stronger so it'll hold up to the violence in the rock gardens. Other than that, the car did an awesome job and held up great. We're going to go ahead and check through the chassis a little more when we get back, and we'll see how it goes.